Hello, I'm Reverend Priestess Jen Nami Padgett with HeartSong Sanctuary Collective, and I am leading today's service on stepping up. And in that agreement, which we have several agreements on the HeartSong Sanctuary website, and that we live by, but this one says, "We are the ones we've been waiting for. Together we will heal our lineages and those around us, lifting each other as we go, and be open to the magic, beautiful journey of growth, and that it is to step into the HeartSong Sanctuary Collective." So, what does this mean? It's basically a call out to you, and for those who are going to join in the HeartSong Sanctuary Collective. We've talked about many other agreements and how we base our spirituality in our own sovereignty. So we're not practicing anything specific other than what our own branding for each individual person's spirituality looks like. And we're kind of shepherding each other through figuring that out, and also having a place where we can gather together and support each other. But one of the most important things, and the reason why we're doing this, is because we know that there needs to be healing in this world, and we know that there needs to be healing within our families and our communities. And we need support systems to be able to do that, because unless there isn't a lot of spiritual practices out there that align also with an individual's sovereignty. But we feel that that's necessary if we're going to heal this world and we're going to heal our families. So part of this stepping up piece is taking leadership and taking ownership for your own development and your own spiritual process. And you're not doing that without support tools, because we have those here, but we need people who want to heal themselves and their lineages, and to figure out what it takes to do that. And we need you to step up. And we're stepping up within our own community by starting the HeartSong Collective. And we have been doing this work for many years collectively among us. And part of that work was really to work through a lot of things. In my last video, I was talking about light and shadow qualities. We've done a lot of work on that, for instance, to discover ourselves and to discover where we haven't been accepting our true inner selves, and maybe others as well, because everything that we don't accept within ourselves or love within ourselves is some place where there's an opportunity to judge another person for maybe those same actions or qualities. But we need more people within their own families to heal their family lineages. And it does start with us. But then once we have a grasp of it, once we start doing that for ourselves, then we can turn around and start teaching that to our children and to our sisters and brothers, and even our parents, our mothers and fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers, if they have not been living in a spiritually sovereign way, or had any practices at all. Maybe you grew up with no practices, or no religious education, or weren't taught to honor the earth in any way. This is your opportunity to start doing that. And one of the things that we want to help guide people through, and the reason why, one of the big reasons why we're doing the things that we're doing, Um, so once you start to do your healing, and once you start to support your family in that, then it's going to spread, and it's going to start healing. It's going to start healing forward and backward. And I've seen this in my own family, that once I started to heal, um, I was an example for my children. And I think even, my mother and other people in my family, to consider what that looks like for themselves. And that's when we kind of get to the point where we can lift our family members up, and we can lift each other up, and we start to feel the magic, and we start to have this beautiful journey of growth that we talk about. And it's not linear. Growth is not linear. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. While we're going through growth, you can think of anything that you're healing like in a spiral. So let's say you had something in your life that caused PTSD, for instance, like maybe a car accident or something. And it really impacted you in a mental health way. And you do the work. You do some shadow work, and you do some counseling work, and you go through some sessions, and you feel like you really solved that issue within yourself, that particular issue. Don't be surprised if that comes up again, because you never know what's going to happen in your life to create the scenario where that comes right back to you. I recently had PTSD is perfect for this discussion, because I had some PTSD come up for me earlier this year, and I had thought, wow, that I had done all this work and I'd healed it, but there I was right back to being in this place for a couple of weeks, where it really took me, out of my center big time. But it didn't take me out of my center for more than a few weeks. And that's really important, that I was able to get over something that was very personal, very dramatic for me, and in such a short amount of time. And it's because I've done that work, and I also know all the steps to take to get to the support system that I need to get to be able to relieve some of that. And some of the support system is the HeartSong Sanctuary for me, because I started it with some of my best friends, and they are a support system for me, and they've done a lot of this work too. So understanding exactly where I was at the time, and being able to kind of guide and lead me into a better place a lot quicker than when I was doing things alone. And we aren't really meant to be doing this life alone. We're not meant to process things alone. I mean, we can, and yeah, we do a lot of processing alone, but when we are able to process it with another person, or have a trusting guide to help us through things, then I think that's when we've gotten to the point where we've have the support system. And part of stepping up is having your own support system, so as things come up, that you're able to deal with them. And even though things might come back around in a spiral, the more that you do the work, the more the spiral goes, where something might have been in the center of your heart, or something was really giving you a hard time. Even if you go back to those feelings, the spiral will continue, and it kind of goes more and becomes on the outer spiral, and outer spiral, and outer spiral, until eventually that goes away. So don't worry about that you'll never be able to get over something, because I think that you can, and it does require stepping up to do that. It does require a lot of work too. And that's one of the things that we cannot fear. It's one of the things that we just have to, when we're taking a leadership role and when we're stepping up for our family, we know that we might be stepping in and on a potentially dark path to heal part of the lineage. And that is part of the work and part of the process. But it does open up so many things for our lineages. And that's what this step and this agreement is about. And we don't expect people to be there overnight. This is a long process for some for your whole entire life. But what we do want is for people to consider the things that need to be healed in their lineages and take some leadership and step up to that. So that's the sermon for this week. If you want to know what's going on with HeartSong Sanctuary, go to heartsongcollective.org. We have full moon ceremonies every month on the Saturday closest to the full moon. That calendar schedule is on our website. We've got this medicine woman class coming up, a 13 moons immersion, where I'm going to be leading up to 10 women for a full 13 moons through a priestessing herbalism program. So if that calls to you, then connect with us, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you for listening.